I can't breathe, I'm waiting for the exhale. Toss my pain with my wishes and I wish it well. Still no love, but oh well. In my head, I actually feel like I'm a decent singer, and then I actually listen to it back and I'm like, what the hell was that? So I do apologise, but RIP Juice WRLD. Welcome back, guys, to this week's episode. It is Tuesday the 20th of June, 1:45 in the afternoon. I am just about to sit down and have my meal too. I was going to do like a full day of eating for this video, but then I kind of sat down and I thought I'd do something a little bit different. And there's a lot of the stuff that I normally eat I haven't actually got in yet because I'm going to do a food shop tonight. So I figured I would just do something a little bit different. But because obviously in the last video I kind of explained what my breakfast is, and that's pretty much the same every day. And then to be fair, this meal too is more or less the same every day as well, give or take. So currently we've just got meatballs and katsu curry, jasmine rice. I'm a bit fussy when it comes to rice. I only can eat jasmine. I refuse to eat basmati or any other type of rice. I just don't like the texture and the consistency as opposed to jasmine. And this katsu curry one is amazing. Probably this one, and then there's a teriyaki one as well, but for some reason Tesco have stopped doing it. This will be like my staple meal, and then as an addition to this, I'll have either, for today I'm going to have 2 squares bars, but it could be either 2 squares bars, some sort of cookie or a blueberry muffin, typically, and then whichever one I don't have with this meal, I'll have that with the next meal, which will be, so this will be like my pre-workout meal. I'm going to have this, pack all my stuff up, and then head to the gym for today's session. So today's session, I'm going to record some bits for this video of this session, but yeah, it's going to be a very tasty one. This is probably going to be the hardest one I've done yet. So it's an EMOM for 20 minutes. Now EMOM stands for every minute on the minute. So basically I've got per minute, so there's 5 exercises that I've got to do. So obviously in 20 minutes I can do 4 rounds of that. And for each minute I'm assigned an exercise. So for example, my first one is 10 burpees. So I've got to do 10 burpees, ideally in the minute, and then let's say it takes me 50 seconds to complete. I then get 10 seconds rest before, when the next minute starts, I'm into then 12 box jumps. So you basically got to get the allocated rep range done before the next minute starts, because then you're on to the next exercise. So it'll be tough because potentially I'm only going to have like 10-15 seconds rest in between, and then obviously as I start to tire it'll take me longer, so it might even take me a full minute to do one of the things, but then I'm then got to start the next one. So yeah, that's going to be tough. And as if that weren't tough enough, I've then got to rest for 3 minutes, and I then have a 3k run to do. Every 500 meters I have to do 10 burpee broad jumps, which will be fun. So I'm going to have to do the burpee broad jumps amongst like all the treadmills, and by the looks of it, by the time I get to the gym and start training, it will start getting a bit busier. So I'm potentially going to get some funny looks when people see me prancing up and down doing burpees next to the treadmill. People are going to be thinking like, what the hell is that twat doing? But yeah, we'll get it done regardless. But yeah, I feel like this will be the toughest one yet I've got to do.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, I'm losing shit. A stupid myth, you choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I was just doing like a talking one, but fuck, that was tough for that. Jesus Christ, that session was no joke. Yeah, that is definitely the hardest one I've done yet. Like I've had to switch my top because I was absolutely drenched in sweat. literally all the sessions that I've done, like they're all so tough, especially these like mixed model stuff. But then like literally as soon as I stop, within 5-10 minutes, my heart rate is kind of back down to a good baseline again, which is good. The EMOM wasn't too bad, in all honesty, but the 3K with burpees in between every 500 meters, that was tough because obviously my legs were already a bit tired. So yeah, that was tough. Literally after every 10 burpees that I did, and then starting the run again, I felt so sick. But we did it. Pretty happy. I think I did it in, it was like just over an hour. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, I'm going to go and grab some food shortly. At the minute, my second and third meal tend to be very similar in terms of some sort of meat, either meatballs, chicken, salmon, or mince, jasmine rice, and then, as I mentioned earlier, it'd either be like a squares bar, a cookie, or a blueberry muffin. So I'm going to have that in a minute, and then got PT clients this evening. So I'm not going to film anything else today. I'll probably just carry on from tomorrow now, just because the rest of my evening is not going to be that entertaining. So yeah, I'll wrap this day up here, and then I'll catch you all tomorrow. Who's going to carry the boats, the logs? I am. Okay, so yesterday on my Instagram, I thought I'd finish off this video with a little Q&A, so I put a question box over there. If you don't follow me on Instagram, the username is @20fitness. It will be linked in the description as well, so drop me a follow on there. 5 questions in total, so we'll spend the last couple of minutes of this video just boxing them off. So the first one was, what made you decide to sign up for High Rocks? And I'd say that the main thing really was there's another YouTuber that I watch, TM Cycles. He recently, well, I say recently, he's been doing it a few months now, but he transitioned from typical bodybuilding to this whole like functional fitness, and he did a High Rock, so I watched all his YouTube videos on that, and that kind of got me interested in it, and then I just did a little bit more research into it, and then similar to like with the photo shoot prep I did last time, I bit the bullet and I thought, stuff it, I'm going to do it. It's something I've never done before. It's going to take me to a whole new level of fitness. It will obviously open up other doors and pathways for me as a coach as well, to have had the experience of training for that, because one of my clients at the minute, Emma, she's going to be competing that same weekend as well, so I'm going to be coaching her for that. So yeah, I'm doing it for myself, to push my own limits, but then also to gain the knowledge from it, basically. Second one was, are you finding the session harder or easier than your usual bodybuilding stuff? 100% harder. Like, I've still got elements of bodybuilding training in my plan. It's more strength work for my legs and my upper body. But yeah, I look forward to them days, because those days are so much easier than the days like what I've been doing earlier on in the video and doing the long runs. So yeah, it's definitely a lot harder. Are you tracking your calories / macros at all? I'll be honest, no. I haven't tracked anything for, I want to say, a good few months, probably like 3-4 months. Mainly because, again, as I've mentioned in this video, a lot of my meals tend to be the same, and I've tracked on and off for the best part of 5 years, so I kind of know roughly where my calorie intake is sitting, within probably 200 to 300 calories, because again, my meals will be set. I just might have different snacks throughout the day. Like one day I might have a protein bar or a shake, another day I might not. But I weighed myself for the first time the other day, actually, and I think I'm 77 kilos at the minute, which is a bit heavier than I thought, considering I've not been tracking anything. But yeah, for the time being, I'm not tracking anything at all. But like I say, I know roughly what I'm eating. I'm trying to get a good mixture of protein, carb, fats, making sure I'm hitting my micro and macronutrient goals. So, which exercise do you think will be the hardest for you to do during the event? It's a tough one, to be fair. Sitting here now, I'd be more inclined to say, at this moment in time, probably the sled push and pull, only because those are the only 2 things that I haven't actually done yet within this training block. I know there will be a block that puts more focus on that later down the line, But yeah, but on the actual day, 100% it's going to be the wall balls, just purely because they're at the end. And obviously everyone that's ever done a high rocks always says that they are absolutely savage. To put it in perspective, I did 100 as part of my session like a week or so ago, and like it was so tough. And that was literally like when I was fresh, never mind at the end of everything that I've got to do. So yeah, I'd probably say the 100 wall balls at the end. And then last one was how to stay hydrated during a workout without getting a stitch. Now I'm assuming you mean, when you say workout, I'm assuming that means a cardio, higher intensity workout, only because I've never really experienced stitch during a bodybuilding type session, weightlifting session. But there'd be two main things, Rick. Like completely going away from hydration, I would always, with any cardio workout, I would always look at the timing of that pre-workout meal or what you're having for that. Just because, again, whenever I do any sort of running, I like to leave a good sort of 2 hours before having a meal and then going for my longer runs. Just because, again, I find that sometimes I get stitch. And again, there's a reason I have the meatballs, rice and squares bars as like a pre-workout, just because it's a relatively easily digestible meal to have. But yeah, regarding actual like hydration, I'd probably look at how much fluid you're taking on board during the session. Like again, if you're doing a cardio based workout, high intensity, whatever it might be, and you're absolutely guzzling water back, then potentially, obviously that is what's going to be causing the stitch. Whereas if you're just having sort of little sips, or again making sure you've got an adequate amount of hydration before the session, so don't sit there and guzzle a load of water just before you're then going to go into doing some high intensity stuff. I think making sure that you are hydrated enough before the session but not too close to the session, and then throughout it just taking sips of water should hopefully help. So I'd probably look at that plus the timing of your meals before you work out, because those are the only two things that I can really think of. So yeah, we'll wrap the video up here for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Do all that YouTuber stuff, like, comment and subscribe, and then yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.
You take the chance to go after your dreams. When you take the risk, sure, you may fail, but what if you fly? What if you succeed? What if you do greater than you could have ever imagined? What if you impact and change millions of lives? What if the world is different in a better way because of you?